Policing the streets has changed a lot since the days of Dixon of Dock Green.
Good evening, all.
But some things remain the same, and local police officers listening to people's concerns is still a priority for neighbourhood teams across the country.
I love it.
And in modern-day Britain, we need them now more than ever.
Police!
In this series of Neighbourhood Blues, we follow Northumbria Police.
He's going to be around here somewhere.
One of the largest police forces in the country, serving a diverse population of 1.5 million people.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Whether it's tackling troublemakers,
I've had problems with you enough.
cracking down on antisocial behaviour crippling our communities,
You're locked up for drunk and disorderly.
or waging war on illegal drugs.
Another room full of plants.
They keep our streets safe by fighting the crimes that affect us most, bringing criminals to justice at every opportunity. Today on Neighbourhood Blues, protecting the public, police hunt down wanted criminals.
Hopefully we're going to court this afternoon.
So now where, man? There.
Anger on the streets of Sunderland city centre,
You little scumbag.
and a raid on a suspected drug user.
It sends out a stronger message to the people: drugs will not be tolerated.
When criminals get away with breaking the law, people lose faith in the system. That's why the neighbourhood teams often have to get tough by finding wanted people and putting them behind bars.
On the northeast coast of England, Northumbria Police are mobilising hundreds of officers. The public are sick of criminals evading justice. So the force have launched Operation Flynn, targeting active offenders across Northumberland and North Tyneside. Neighbourhood teams are knocking on hundreds of doors in this 2-week operation. Based at Police HQ in Wallsend, east of Newcastle, Sergeant Brian Finnegan is the man in charge.
Kept a running log, obviously, with the dates when the operation started from the 7th of March and it runs through to the 19th. As you'll see, the vast majority are A's, which denominate an arrest. There is an element of luck, but at the beginning of the operation, we did seem to bring quite a few people through the door. The vast majority are law-abiding citizens, you know, and they're basically, they want to see the police detain these people who are wanted, so any sort of support they can give, they do. So there's been quite a bit of support from the public.
They're targeting more than 100 suspects over the course of the operation.
We've produced packages which basically give a little bit of background. They supply the addresses used by the subject, known associates, telephone numbers, solicitors.
This morning, it's PC Connor Tower's turn to clear up a list of outstanding suspects.
Today we've been given 5 different people that we're out looking for, trying to get a hold of for various offences, including sort of fails to appear at court. There's one for harassment and a couple for breach of bail as well. So we're just trying to hunt them down and get various addresses and find out where they are at the moment so we can get them sorted and dealt with.
The first job of the day is bringing in a man who's been in trouble before. He's been charged with possessing a weapon and fighting on the street.
Are there back doors to these or not?
Yeah, that's hopefully we're letting you in now.
Give it a shout.
Operation Flynn is so big, it's using officers from a lot of different units. So we're protecting this officer's identity.
I'll go have a look around the back, see if any is there.
With no joy at the front door, Connor heads round to the rear of the house. He's met by plainclothes officer Lenny Oliver, who's recce'd the address before Connor arrived.
Not sure.
Hello? Hello?
They're in luck. The back door is open.
Wait, please.
The suspect was supposed to have reported to the police station 3.5 hours ago, but he's still tucked up in bed.
Get yourself dressed, I'm aware. You know that you wanted for breach of bail, mate? You were meant to come down this morning at the police station, you arranged it, aye? At 8 o'clock, it's 11:30.
Just create a new one and I'll sort it out later on.
He's not happy about being dragged out of bed.
We'll sort it out. Okay, he's just getting dressed now and we'll take him down to Middle Engine Lane.
But there's a problem. He claims he can't be locked up without his medication and he's run out.
What medication do you take?
Nothing while that's there, you know.
It's not on.
They don't know if he's spinning them a yarn, but they can't take a chance. Northumbria police are keen that the public can see that they are doing everything in their power to punish offenders, and a visible arrest for Operation Flynn sends out a powerful message.
Your prescription's ready to collect now? Yeah. Do you need anything with you for that or not?
They're not going straight to the police station though.
You are?
The man insists he needs his medication as soon as possible, so they'll pick it up on the way to custody.
Mate, I'm just going to check your pockets quickly, mate, see if have you got anything on you or not?
Don't think so. Just the phone.
You got your phone with you?
Yeah.
And if there's any other medication that you need to take away, we'll be able to fetch it for you, okay? He needs medication, so he's going to be taken down to the chemist to get his medication and booked in custody, and hopefully we'll get him at court this afternoon.
It's not standard practice to take a prisoner to the chemist's en route to jail, but they have to keep him safe and well so he can answer for his crime.
We're just taking him by the chemist and we're going to come back down. Spot on, well, I've seen a bit. Ciao.
Not bringing me out there, are you?
Yeah, you need to go in and get it, mate. You need to go in and get it.
Can you take these off then?
No.
You can get it.
We can't, you've got to get it.
You go get it.
Oh my days, you lot are really taking
The man is
so long
reluctant to be
get
seen
it.
in cuffs on his local high street, but the police can't pick up the drugs for him.
I cannot believe these lads.
Just head down, mate. We'll get it sorted quickly. Got it. Good work.
Once they've picked up the man's prescription, it's back in the van and off to custody.
Here we go, pal.
The suspect is given his medication and searched before being processed. As he's been charged with possessing a weapon and a fray, they're not taking any chances.
Are you happy with all your rights?
Yeah.
Good man. If I can ask you to sign using the pad here, just on the pad here, appear on the screen. Change your mind about anything in any time.
The man's going to be spending a good few hours in the cells before going to court later in the day, and he wants something to occupy his time.
Yes, yes. What sort of stuff do you like to read?
Crime films.
Okay, I'm sure we've got some crime novels for you. We'll bring a couple down and see what you want.
Crime.
Just
You're a comedy genius, man. That's what it is. Can you just pop your shoes off, mate?
There you go. The starters.
He's got a lot of time to read, and he's in the right place to settle down with a bit of crime fiction. In court, the man was found guilty of fighting in a public place and assault. He was sent to jail for 10 months and fined £140 as victim compensation.
You can run, but you can't hide. You'll eventually get caught. If it's today, tomorrow, the next day, and it goes on and on. We work 24/7, so every day we're here and we'll look for you.
One lawbreaker locked up, but Operation Flynn is about getting as many outstanding cases wrapped up as possible, and time waits for no wanted man.
I've identified 3 packages for you to do. The addresses identified are current up to the last...
On the next shift, PC Billy Mulligan, Special Constable Michael Murphy and PC Jordan Sadler are ready to go.
Any preference which one we do first, or?
As long as we can dispose of this wanted package in a positive manner, you know, there's kind of carte blanche as to how we deal with something.
Right, smashing.
Is all happy with what the task in hand is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ideal.
Yeah, well, happy hunting, guys, and let's bring some bodies back through the door.
Sounds like a plan. Smashing.
They're after two people in particular today, both of whom have failed to appear in court in recent weeks. Their first target was charged with punching a man in the head, but failed to appear in court for his trial. And he's a well-known troublemaker who's prompted a number of complaints from neighbours.
So as part of Operation Flynn, it's now brought us to another town in the northeast called Ashington. And we're here to arrest an outstanding offender who hasn't turned up at court. We've got a few addresses that we're going to be working through, trying to find them. So far, every attempt that's been made has been unsuccessful. So this man in particular, he's not a really nice chap. He's a real sort of problem for the town. One of these people who we deal with quite regularly. So we're heading round to his home address now, and if that doesn't work, we've got a list of associates' addresses that we're going to be trying as well.
Although it's past midday, their intelligence suggests it's still early for their suspect. They're confident that he won't be expecting an alarm call.
Aye, could you, mate?
As well as hopefully making an arrest, they know that their presence will reassure local residents that something is being done about this noxious neighbour. There's no response. Billy and Jordan can't be sure if the suspect's not there or inside, lying low.
Let's have a look, see what we can see around the back anyway. Fortunately, he's not here at the minute, but doesn't mean we're going to give up there. We've got a few more addresses to check. It's a shame, but it's all part of the bigger picture. That's what it's all about.
Now it's on to another house where the wanted man's been seen.
So this address here is an associate, so he might not be very forthcoming, but it would be nice if he's here. All right, not to worry about, mate. Has he ever lived here? Never at all, mate. Because that was...
After a bit of a wait, someone does come to the door, but it's not the man they're looking for.
I didn't wake you up, did I? Sorry, mate. I'll leave you to it then. Cheers. Thanks, mate.
The man claims he hasn't seen the person they're looking for a long time. With nothing more to go on, it seems the trail has run cold.
2 o'clock and he's fast asleep. In his pyjamas. Says he doesn't live there, he's never lived there for a long time. Hasn't seen him for a long time. It's all that bigger picture, isn't it?
Billy's had no luck, but Operation Flynn won't let up. Join us later as the hunt for this suspect continues. Drug use isn't just a crime in itself. Drug users and dealers are regularly linked to other crimes such as theft and antisocial behaviour. So if you're taking drugs and your neighbours decide to tell the police about it, be ready for the neighbourhood policing teams to knock on your door. Washington is a new town south of Newcastle. A former mining town, home to around 70,000 people. It's Saturday morning, and Washington's neighbourhood policing team is getting ready to raid a house where they've been told cannabis is being grown. Local residents have complained about the smell of cannabis and lots of noise coming from the house at all hours.
Well, if all goes to plan, we expect to find a cannabis farm as per on the warrant. Obviously, we have intelligence to suggest that that's the case.
The house is less than a 10-minute drive from the station, and the plan on arrival is to drill out the door lock to get inside. But a far easier solution presents itself as the back door is open. The man they're after is inside and quickly cuffed.
No, that's no spot from that line. No. Take a seat there. Right, yes, we've got a drugs warrant executed at your address. Alright?
Where's this come from? Where's it come from now?
I'll tell you now, mate, basically we don't know where the information comes from. All we get is just given a package like this and it's like, go and execute the warrant. No problem. That's the way it is, mate, alright?
They quickly find evidence of some potential drug use.
The stuff on the table in there that's...
They suspect this white powder is amphetamine.
So what we're suspecting we're possibly seeing on this tray here is a mix of tobacco and possible cannabis products. On this table here, there's evidence of the small bags and some white powder on the table. So that may indicate other drugs that aren't listed on the warrant. So as we're searching, obviously it may become evident to exactly what this gentleman is involved with. Why would you have small quantities of little bags? And it's a key indicator for the neighbourhood teams when we are searching houses and various items.
The search of the property continues, and they soon find more evidence of drug use.
There's obviously a card he's been using to chop and a bit of straw. I'll just bag that all up as I wanna. The powder's on its own.
The tip-off the team were given had said that cannabis plants were being grown in the house. This seems to have been a case of misinformation, though it's fairly clear that drugs have been taken here.
From what I've seen so far, I think there's lots of small self-seal snap bags with a white powder residue in them. My gut feeling is he's quite a heavy user of what seems to be amphetamines. Having spoke to him, that's what he's told us what was on the table earlier, and given the number of snap bags that were there, his behaviour as we've spoken to him there, he seems a little bit wired, as it were. I get the impression he's a regular, frequent user of amphetamines. That's my first guess.
It's been a successful job. They've found drugs and drug paraphernalia, and most importantly, have shown that the neighbourhood team will act fast when the public make a complaint about possible drug activity.
By us attending the address and executing the warrant, I would hope that it sends out a stronger message to the people that live close by that drugs will not be tolerated. However, you know, it also sends out a message to the people that are possibly buying drugs or supplying drugs, that we're all aware of their movements and what they are potentially up to or involved in.
Happy?
Happy.
Yep, right, we're going to give these a dug. And
the evidence that's been gathered suggests the suspect is guilty of possession of drugs rather than growing them. And because of this, they've decided there's no need to bring him in.
So he's been interviewed, he's made admissions, and he'll be dealt with appropriately through the courts in due course. The officer in charge will raise a summons and the court will set the date, and he'll have his day in court. He'll be able to plead whatever he chooses, and he'll be sentenced appropriately by the magistrate's court.
The man later admitted to Class B amphetamine possession for his own personal use and received a simple caution.
It's the neighbourhood teams who are on the front line in the war on antisocial behaviour. But sometimes, despite their calm and level-headed approach, they can be tested to their limits.
Neighbourhood cop Sally Kelly has been in the force for 14 years but is a newcomer to Sunderland.
I've been working in Sunderland city centre now for a few months, and it's certainly different. We get to see a lot of the same faces on a daily basis. It can help us knowing them, because if a job comes in, especially when the name's mentioned, you don't necessarily, well, you certainly don't know what you're going to find when you get there, but you have a good idea what you're going to be dealing with. We have characters there that have hit very low times in their life. You see the very decent side of them, but then you also see the worst side of them, and it's trying to understand them, but as well, we're here to enforce the law when we need to.
On day shifts, Sally tends to deal with shoplifters and problem drinkers, though she knows the busy city centre can throw up all sorts of situations. Today, she's going out on patrol with fellow neighbourhood officer Chris Pennock.
2303 in company with 1655.
They haven't been out for long when they get a call to help two community support officers who've stopped a woman who both officers have dealt with on a regular basis.
Debs and Chris off the teams got a girl who's well known to us. Sounds like she's been allegedly involved in some sort of theft from person or robbery. Got them detained at the moment, but she's been a bit of a handful, which she's known to be. So we're just trying to get there as quick as we can and see what's gone on.
Apparently, the woman has been accused of stealing money from a man. From previous experience, Sally and Chris know that she can be extremely volatile.
Hiya.
The PCSOs had found the woman hiding in the bushes after being alerted by the alleged theft victim.
This lad over here just came over and stopped us.
Yeah.
Said that someone's just nicked £20 off him, off his person.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The woman is a prolific petty criminal who's well known to the neighbourhood team, but today she's extremely unhappy about being arrested.
Suspicion of theft, okay?
Hey, your son! Hey, your son! There's no need to lock me up, man. I've got all on me. Hey, your son, you get me locked up here, you know, you shan't. You little wrong.
Calm down.
Because of her language, the woman's risking being charged with a public order offence as well as the alleged theft.
He's a liar, he's trying to buy gear, man.
Theft from person, aye.
No! Hey, your son, I swear to God, you're going to tell him the truth! You little rat! I've not took his money, I swear to God, he was trying to buy gear. I can't help that, I'm not the drug dealer. He's got the kid's number in his pocket, phone the kid. It's never to deal with me. Are you all your searches? Right.
If he gets his 20 quid.
The woman's alleging her accuser was trying to buy drugs from someone she knows, but she hasn't taken his money. So Sally has a chat with him to confirm
I just need
the
your
facts.
details and stuff.
Oh,
Just stand still.
I haven't got the wallet with me now.
You haven't got your right.
He's sticking with his story that she's taken 20 quid from him.
Right, calm down, chill out.
And I'll get him me. As he tell you, he was trying to buy gear.
Yeah.
He was trying to buy gear, wasn't he?
No, he's basically just said that you've taken 20 quid off him.
What do you mean?
He's opened his bucket tin and you've taken £20
Why would
out
I only
of it.
take £20
Well, I
and
don't
take
know.
the rest of his line? He was trying to buy drugs.
Have
He's
you
got
got it on?
kids.
Do you want to give
No,
him a
boss,
buck?
I swear, that's my mother's life.
Because of what she's allegedly done and her behaviour, the woman's being taken to the station. But she's keen to have the last word.
You see, and I robbed you, you little scumbag, you scumbag. Yeah, I'll get you your 20 bucks. Sort it out now.
Are you going to get in the car?
£20. I've not got it on me.
Are you going to get in the car now?
Are you going to get me arrested or not?
We'll get it sorted, sit in.
Yeah. Get your receipt. He's got your money. I haven't got it, son.
Car.
Hey, your son.
Get in the car.
I'll get you it.
Oh, you're getting pushed in.
You know I haven't got his money.
You again, the... Just with her being female, she knocks out allegations.
Listen.
It's not going to be a peaceful trip to custody.
What do you? You little rat. He's trying to buy smack. He's got the number in his... Look at me. me, I swear I'm not lying. Smacky was trying
The
to buy
woman's
the
story
kids
stands up in as much as she doesn't have any money on her. But given what's happened, Chris and Sally aren't letting her go till they find out more.
Look at, listen, right, an allegation's come in where that lad is saying that you've took £20 off him, okay? Ultimately, we can arrest you on suspicion of that theft. And I have done, all right? When you start booting off in the street, that's when we'll have to take you away, right? We can speak to... Listen, if you start calming down, we'll get an update from the cop at the scene, and if it turns out that that's not the case anymore, of course you'll be de-arrested, all right?
Back at the station, Chris and Sally are told that the man who was the alleged victim has decided not to press charges. So the woman was de-arrested and allowed to leave. Nevertheless, they've prevented a potentially unpleasant incident from escalating in the city centre.
She no replied, which, you know, they've got the right to do. She didn't want a solicitor present. So at the moment, it's been closed off with inquiries incomplete, and we've told that we're going to be checking with the cameras, and if any offences do come to light, then we'll be speaking to her again. But we will speak to her in the future anyway to let her know how it is going to be closed off. So yes, one of those jobs where one's saying one thing, one's saying another, and we have to do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Still to come.
It's just getting a quick change of clothes and then we'll be taking him away.
On the hunt with Operation Flynn.
So that's one off the list today.
A suspected thief with sticky fingers.
He's not a master criminal, is he? That's for sure.
And the team finally catch up with a serial offender.
Well, I dropped him off at 8 o'clock and he said, "Yous were picking him up."
With the help of his mum.
Get in trouble, like, she'll glass us into us straight away.
Across the northeast, the police are making a huge effort to reassure the public that they are stamping out crime in their communities. And it's not just by keeping a high profile. Operation Flynn is now into its second week, and overall, it's been a big success.
Our figures are quite good, to be fair. You know, we've averaged roughly around about 8 disposals on each day. I think it's a positive response from the public because they're aware now that there is wanted people out there, but the police are doing something positive to try and bring these people in, and they're also seeing the results that these people are being taken off the street.
But someone they haven't managed to catch is a man from Ashington, north of Sunderland, who's wanted for assault.
This man in particular is not a really nice chap. He's a real sort of problem for the town.
Yesterday, PC Billy Mulligan and his team knocked on several doors looking for him, but he was nowhere to be found. However, word has got back to the suspect that the police are looking for him, and he's phoned them to give himself up.
So basically there's a guy that the cops who were working the operation yesterday, they've been in touch with him, and he's actually going to be at an address in Blythe, which I'll let you read the package. So if you just want to do that as a first port of call, you got any questions about it?
So this lad's been spoken to, has he?
This guy's been spoken to. He's fully aware that is you wanted. Okay.
He has been violent when he's been arrested before, but he's made the contact with us, so
yeah. Oh.
No problem. Yeah. Crack on.
That's great. Okay. We shall speak to you in a little bit then.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit, Helen.
He's told them he's going to be at a flat very close to where Billy was searching, and today's arrest team are going out to pick him up. It's not long before they arrive at the address. They've been given a number of different addresses over the course of their search for the man, but they haven't been here before.
Is it address again?
suspect doesn't appear to be in, or he's choosing not to answer the door.
The mobile number doesn't even ring out.
Oh well. We'll pay Mum and Dad a visit, I think, again.
Thankfully, though, they do have another option. The suspect's mother lives nearby and has given some useful information to the arrest team yesterday. So they decide to see if she can shed any light on her son's whereabouts today.
Hello again, sorry to bother you again. I take it you saw these gentlemen yesterday.
I dropped him off at his flat this morning because he's going to pick him up.
I know, we've just been there and there's no answer. It's all in darkness, and blinds are drawn.
I dropped him off in 8 o'clock because he just was going to see him.
Yeah, I know, it seems as though it was organised.
But he's definitely not in.
Well, he's not answering the door, and we've prayed on it a few times, like, so...
Phone's dead. Well, I dropped him off at 8 o'clock and he said, you were picking him up.
Aye.
That number I gave you yesterday was the wrong number. It was his old number.
Was it?
I phoned up yesterday, it was his old number.
Ah, right.
So.
Mum has accidentally given the police the wrong mobile number for her son.
He's definitely not at my house. I'll nip to his girlfriend's and see if he...
Okie doke, we'll just hang fire here then.
Operation Flynn now has a new recruit. PC Mum on the hunt for her wayward son. They've waited 3 days to get this suspect, so a few more minutes won't hurt. And it's not long before mother and son turn up.
It's like buses, isn't it?
He said he phoned you and tell you he was going to be his girlfriend.
Oh, right.
Phoned the office.
Because your mum says she dropped you off this morning.
I sat there until 9 o'clock. No one turned up, so I went right off.
By the time I got it sorted out.
Right.
Okie doke. Cheers.
I'll see you soon.
Right.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate the help. Hope your phone gets charged.
I hope so.
Right, Jimmy, just take a poo in there, mate.
They have finally got their man, but not without the help of the long arm of his mum. Her son has got used to her turning him in.
If I get in trouble, like, she'll grass us into us straight away, just to get it sorted out. She hates me being in trouble, but you know.
You're in this one, mate, 39.
Operation Flynn has another successful arrest. Although a slightly more unusual one than normal. The man was later convicted of assault and fined £100 and made to pay compensation to his victim. Neighbourhood policing is about dealing with crimes which affect everyone, and local shops and businesses are no exception. This afternoon, Kirsty Pitchford and Louise Page are following up on a report of theft that to some might seem insignificant.
A gentleman in his aged 30s, a regular customer of the local shop there, has just been in and stolen a packet of chocolate buttons.
It is the crime of the century.
It's not the value of the item that matters, but the theft itself.
If they're reaching out to us as a victim of crime, who are we to, you know, dismiss that because it's just a packet of buttons or it's just whatever, you know, to them, it's their shop, it's their stock. They're reporting it to us and we deal with it. We're here to serve the community that we're working, no matter how big or small the problem is.
With no sign of the suspect on the street, Kirsty and Louise head to the shop where the alleged theft took place.
Do you know the gentleman?
Yeah, he comes in all the time.
Has he ever taken anything before? Is this...
Well, we're now thinking...
Oh, that he potentially has, right.
Just for some time.
Thankfully, the shop has CCTV, So Kirsty and Louise head round the back.
Oh, it's a squash and a squeeze here, isn't it?
Where owner Kimberly has the footage lined up.
This is him here.
The suspect looks to be picking through his change to buy a carton of milk. He's hoping dropping the money will disguise what he's about to do next. His hand goes for the chocolate treat on a lower shelf, and the other camera shows him pocketing the loot in the side pocket of his combats.
Does he pay for the milk, does he? Or
Yes, for the
he
milk
does pay?
and cereal. I mean,
right.
We're saying it's strange. He's stolen a packet of buttons worth.
People do things like that though. You often see in other shoplifting situations, they pay for some items and then not others.
Do you get any one of his face at all on the other camera?
We'll be able to, yeah, maybe in at the tail.
On his way out, the camera captures a decent picture of their man.
It's an alright view of his face, isn't it? Yeah.
They don't know who he is yet, but by circulating his image amongst the neighbourhood team, they're hoping the suspect with his sticky fingers on the buttons will soon be in their sights.
He's not a master criminal, is he? That's for sure.
We will do our very best to quickly find out who he is.
Yeah,
and like I say, just due to the value of it, it may be that it might be that he doesn't get arrested, but he'll still be interviewed and disposed of accordingly.
Yeah.
But it depends if he's got a real history of this sort of thing, that he maybe get arrested. It all depends on the sort of necessity of needing to arrest somebody. Whether we can just interview him and deal with him that way. But I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know either way which way it's going to be.
Thanks very much for your time.
Fab, no problem.
But why this grown man stole sweets in the first place remains a mystery.
Clearly had enough money in his hand to pay for all the items. It's like it must be the buzz that he gets from thinking, oh, I've got away with taking this, rather than not having the money to do it.
Very strange.
Once the man's picture is circulated, it doesn't take long for someone on the neighbourhood team to ID him. And Louise and fellow PC Dan McGuinn have a name and an address.
I'll just knock the window first because he said try the window. Just in case he's in bed. Yeah. Hello? Just open the door and I'll have a chat with you.
Oh well. Progress.
He's cut his hair. He's cut his hair off. He's got long hair when he did the offence. Oh, lovely.
He's had a haircut and a shave, but there's no disguising that this is their man.
Hello.
Inside, despite the CCTV and witness statements, he denies all memory of taking the buttons.
I'm going to have to report you for the offence of theft, and you'll be summoned for that offence, okay? So you'll get a letter about going to court in relation to that, all right? Okay, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time. He's saying he can't remember anything, and that's possibly due to some alcohol and other issues that he may have. It's not a denial as such, you know. That would maybe make a difference if he completely flat out refused and said it wasn't him. So yeah, I'm happy with the answers that he's given, and the fact that he has said I do have a few problems, which is fair enough. But I can go back to the store now and let them know that we have spoken to him, we know who he is, and that he's been dealt with for that matter. So they'll be happy that that's been resolved from their side. He hasn't denied it, but he's saying he can't remember, probably due to some of the states that he's been in, which he sort of admitted. So, like I say, he has answered all the questions I wanted him to, and I've reported him, so he'll be getting like a summons to court for that. So you'll know that he's not supposed to be back, and obviously you'll get some sort of letter to let you know what's happening with the court.
Okay.
But
Right, that's
happy?
lovely.
Excellent.
Thanks very much
all right,
for your
then,
time.
no bother. Thanks.
Great,
Thank you.
With the theft solved and the alleged thief given a court summons. For once, it's shop owner Kimberly who's the happy customer.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, we're happy with the outcome. It might send out a message that it's not acceptable, regardless of the value of the item, what they're coming in. We need to send that message out that we're not willing to put up with it.
The suspected shoplifter was issued a court summons, and the Crown Prosecution Service are yet to reach a decision on whether or not to take the case further. Operation Flynn is coming to a conclusion now, and the man in charge, Brian Finnegan, is happy with how things have gone. The operation targeting bail jumpers and those wanted on warrant has seen a number of lawbreakers off the street. Today's warrant is for a boozer who regularly causes problems outside local pubs when he's had a skinful, which the Neighbourhood team have had a lot of experience of. In 2013, Northumbria Police issued more fines for drunken disorderly behaviour than any other force in England and Wales, and are keen to put out the message that bad behaviour caused by booze won't be tolerated.
You just called him a black.
No, I wish.
Yes, you have.
Today, the team's target failed to appear in court on a drunken disorderly charge. PC Billy Mulligan goes round the back in case the man decides to make a run for it. But there's no need for concern, as the suspect answers the door and appears to be cooperative.
Billy, we've got him at the front. Got him in the front.
All right.
He's also keen to make the right impression when he goes to court.
While we're getting sorted.
Yeah, no worries, man. The quicker we get you there, the quicker we'll get things going for you.
Thank you.
Positive result is we've came to the address, the back door's wide open, but he's answered the front door anyway. He's inside, he knows what it's about. Doesn't want to go to court dressed the way he is, so he's just getting a quick change of clothes, and then we'll be taking him away and presenting him the first court this afternoon. So that's one off the list today. Nice and quick, fingers crossed.
The man has previous for kicking off, but thankfully he's behaving like a model citizen today. Though given his long history of drunk and disorderly behaviour, that's not going to help him avoid a night in the cells.
What's your head? Got it?
Yeah.
Just round that corner there. Was it the first time you've been locked up? You've been...
Loads of times for drunken
disorder. The same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I will authorise your detention here, all right? Unfortunately, it's without bail, so you'll be here until such time as we get you in front of the next available court, okay? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
This chap's a regular guest of the constabulary after he's had too much to drink, though he's been brought in today simply because of a bit of memory loss.
I'd completely forgot about having to go to court for drunk and disorderly. It's like my 15th drunk and disorderly, but that's all I do wrong really, is get too drunk and ego takes over.
The man was kept in a cell overnight before going in front of magistrates the next day. At his rescheduled trial, he pleaded guilty to drunken disorderly behaviour and breaching his bail conditions, and was fined £115.
Never know who you're dealing with, so yeah, time to do the paperwork and then straight back out there is the plan of attack.
Making sure lawbreakers answer for their crimes is just one of many ways the police keep our streets safe. But without the support of the public, their job would be a lot harder. So working together is what neighbourhood policing is all about. See you next time.
Policing the streets has changed a lot since the days of Dixon of Dock Green. But some things remain the same, and local police officers listening to people's concerns is still a priority for neighbourhood teams across the country.
I love it.
And in modern-day Britain, we need them now more than ever.
Police!
In this series of Neighbourhood Blues, we follow Northumbria Police,
He's going to be around here somewhere.
one of the largest police forces in the country, serving a diverse population of 1.5 million people.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Whether it's tackling troublemakers,
I've had problems with you, enough.
cracking down on antisocial behaviour crippling our communities,
You're locked up for drunk and disorderly.
or waging war on illegal drugs.
Another room full of plants.
They keep our streets safe by fighting the crimes that affect us most, bringing criminals to justice at every opportunity. Today on Neighbourhood Blues, the team make an unexpected discovery.
Arrest you for possession of that as well, okay?
Kicking off in custody, a case of vandalism turns into an assault.
And sadly, one of the risks that we have in this job.
And getting tough to clean up the city centre.
Stay put, because I've had problems with you, enough.
Oh, right,
I told you.
Having the time to get to know the public is what's unique about being a neighbourhood police officer. But when things turn nasty, they're just like every other copper and don't hesitate to throw themselves into a volatile situation.
Sunderland is a city on the northeast coast of England. Its origins can be traced back to the 12th century, when it was just a small fishing village at the mouth of the River Wear. These days, its estates, city dwellings and suburbs are home to a population of 300,000 people, and keeping the peace are 94 neighbourhood police officers. Today, Louise Page and Dan McGuinn have been called to a usually peaceful neighbourhood.
So we're just responding to a grade 1 incident, so it's a high priority incident of a female smashing a door up at an address which is part of our patch. The shift that are on at the moment are very strapped resource-wise because there's been a lot of grade 1 incidents in, so obviously we're helping out where we can.
This is normally a quiet street, so reports of a woman trying to smash a door is out of the ordinary.
Seen in the street, we're just trying to locate the house. Can you just give us a number again? You've rang us, have you?
I'm not.
What's going on? Right, okay. What's going on? Tell us what's happened.
The woman smells of alcohol and is clearly distressed.
You're gonna have to just calm down and tell us, because obviously I don't know what's going on. All right, so you have to calm down.
The woman has already caused criminal damage, and Louise and Dan know this situation could spiral out of control.
No problem.
No, I'll go at the door.
No, you're not going to the door. You're gonna
You've
have
had a
to
bit
wait
of a drink.
with us.
We'll find out if
Calm yourself down.
I tell you what. Do not pull.
You're gonna have to calm down, right?
The woman is extremely upset. They need to be sympathetic, but firm.
I really don't know.
Where do you live?
Yes, I have.
Right.
I live.
Hey, can't walk off yet.
Get off
You can't
us.
walk off yet because we don't know what's
off
happened.
Me.
Can't
Please.
If you stay still and stand here, if you stay still and stand here, want to lock you up.
Tell him to get off us.
Listen.
Calm down then.
Relax.
Calm down and stay next talking to us.
Look, I need to warn you about your behaviour, right? You have got alcohol on board and you're being a bit aggressive,
I'm not
right?
being a bit
Calm
aggressive.
down.
Backup arrives, and the team decide to put her straight in the van.
Is it all
She
right?
hasn't been patted down or anything yet,
No,
mind.
do you want to?
Can you grab that?
No.
Stop it!
Oh, wait.
Be silly.
Don't be silly. Come on.
Stop it!
Doing all right. We don't want to make this any more difficult than it needs to be. Be informed that you've committed criminal damage, all right? So you're under arrest for that, okay? You don't have to say anything, remember, so you don't mention one question, so he's in court and if you do some give evidence.
Have you got anything sharp in here that's going to hurt me or you?
moron!
Right, okay.
Away, calm down.
Away, alright.
Away, jump in there.
Watch your head. She's turned up and she's been throwing pebbles at the window,
Nice,
kicking at the door of the car. The
Right.
window's got a bit damage to it, but chip marks more than out else.
Right. Obviously, she's very intoxicated and a bit upset, so we'll get her back to the police station and deal with that from there.
The latest government statistics say alcohol-related incidents are amongst the most common antisocial behaviour complaints. This woman was volatile and aggressive and could have been a threat to anyone on the street. In the van, she shows no sign of calming down.
You're going to end up hurting yourself doing that.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to do, you stupid.
We'll just radio ahead to make sure that, like, if necessary, we've got some extra resources just to keep us safe. And also, she's obviously said that she wants to hurt herself, which we've got a duty of care to try and stop people doing that. So she might need restraining to stop her deliberately hurting herself against a wall or something, as best we can.
That's not going to get you anywhere doing that, all right? And you need to be calm when we get in there, otherwise you'll not get seen to or spoken to, all right? You'll have to...
She just spat?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Stop spitting, right? That's disgusting. And if you're spitting when we get you out of here, you're going to end up getting arrested for further assault, so stop it. Get a grip of yourself.
I don't know this lady. She might have hepatitis or something for all I know, or AIDS. I just don't know the lady. And if we get a bodily fluid exchange through spitting, then that's potentially months and months of not knowing whether you've contracted something.
Unlike other forces, Northumbria Police don't use spit hoods. For Dan and Louise, being in the firing line is a day-to-day reality.
And sadly, one of the risks that we have in this job.
The Police Federation estimate that 6,000 police officers are assaulted every day in England and Wales. That's one assault every 13 seconds. Jobs like this prove that neighbourhood policing is by no means a soft option. And Louise isn't taking any chances.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, all the way here, she's indicated that she wants to spit on us and stuff, and obviously she's lots of fluid coming from her nose and her face and stuff, so just being prepared.
You can have a solicitor.
Getting people like this into custody is the side of neighbourhood policing the public don't get to see.
She's got to stay close to me for my safety, all right? So just try and stay calm.
I'm not coming anywhere near you,
all right? Come on, she's walking ahead, calm down. She's got to stay close to me, because that's the rules, all right?
The custody sergeant and his team are on standby. They know what to expect, because this isn't the first time she's been booked in.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Just talk to me, not them. Just talk to me, not them, all right?
Usually, custody sergeant Andy Bond would check her in at the desk, but the woman's behaviour means that's impossible.
No one touched her! No one touched her!
There was no way I could risk assess her, communicate with her, talk to her sensibly at the desk.
We'll have to just give her some time to calm down, and I think the custody sergeant's asked for it to be put on what we'll call a constant, so somebody's going to have to sit with her and monitor her closely for the next half an hour or so till she calms down, and we'll go from there.
Circumstances like that, I've got to balance whether it's reasonable to keep trying to talk to somebody to get them to cooperate when she was clearly at a stage beyond that, but we still have to try. That then starts, when she's in that sort of situation, that sort of condition, starts to interfere with the running of the custody suite.
The woman is taken to be searched. While that's happening, she follows through with the threat she made in the van, and detention officer Samantha Shembry is on the receiving end.
When I went to take her shoes off, she threatened that she was going to kick my face in. When I took one shoe off, went to take the second shoe off, at which point she spat full force into my ear and hit my face and onto my leg.
Serious assaults on custody staff have trebled over the past 5 years. Like the neighbourhood cops, the custody team play a huge role in keeping our streets safe, and incidents like this are unfortunately all too common.
You've been arrested on suspicion of criminal damage and assault, all right?
Okay. It's not nice, but you do expect to be assaulted whilst doing this job because you're the target. It's not the first time and it won't be the last time I'll be assaulted.
It's going to be watching her for the foreseeable until she calms down, and then she can be uncuffed and then speak to the sergeant again.
We know the lady concerned. She'll probably calm down in an hour or two. I don't suspect that she's had anything other than a lot to drink, but we'll be watching her to see for any symptoms. Most people that come like that, after a while, will just calm down, sit down, start talking normally as the effects of whatever they've had wear off.
While Dan stays with the woman until she calms down, Louise heads back to the station and does her best to remain upbeat.
Just have to kind of rise above it, forget about it, and actually just take care of the lady, because she's, for all she was kicking and swearing and, you know, things in the back of the cage, I've still got to watch and be mindful of what she's doing. She can hurt herself, she can suffocate, she can, you know, I've still got to look after her regardless of what she's saying to me, and that's just part of the job.
The woman pleaded guilty to criminal damage and was ordered to pay £150 to the victim and fined £54. She also pleaded guilty for the assault of the detention officer and was ordered to pay compensation. She was already on a previous suspended sentence, which was amended to a 12-week suspended prison sentence and was put on a curfew, monitored by an electronic tag.
Bored youngsters can cause chaos if their behaviour gets out of hand. But the neighbourhood teams know that gaining the respect of young people goes a long way to resolving these issues. But building that trust isn't always easy.
The east side of Sunderland was once the heart of the biggest shipbuilding city in the world. When the dockyards closed, unemployment and high levels of antisocial behaviour followed.
List of things to do, Dave?
PC's Mick Page and Dave Bew have been police partners here for 5 years. The pair know that many young people on their patch have had it tough, often surrounded by drug and alcohol abuse. So being a friendly face on their patrols is one of the most important parts of their job.
Hi, mate. You're going to climb that wall, are you?
No.
Good answer.
It's got 2 hoodies on.
2 hoodies? You wearing 2 hoodies, mate?
Don't like sun.
You don't like the sun?
Do you know it?
What? Anyway, right, okay, neighbour, that means you don't be climbing no walls.
Neighbour.
But it seems not everyone can keep themselves out of trouble. Mick and Dave have received a call from a member of the public complaining about a group of youths trespassing onto a derelict high school.
Possibly been trying to pull some of the boarding off the windows. They've subsequently made off. Just looking to make sure that there's no access being gained or any damage or anything like that.
The high school, up until last year, was up and running. It's just these 3 buildings on this particular bit of the road that they've closed down. That left.
Oh, yeah, across the road.
Across the road, yeah.
Mick and Dave spot a group of lads running away from the derelict school.
Is that them there?
But these teens aren't keen to stop for a chat.
Yeah, mate. Come here a sec, please. Come down here. There's me back up. Well, I'll come and talk to you then.
You alright?
Right.
Where he's been?
Stop walking away from us. Where have you just been?
In the high school.
Right. What he's been doing at the high school?
So what he's been in there for then?
What? Well,
you've been in the grounds around, yeah. You just
not gonna lie.
Aye.
I have.
Which school do you go to?
The neighbours are fed up with youngsters trespassing on the derelict school, so Mick and Dave need to stop it for good.
Laura, is there anything that we need to worry about if we manage to get 4 of them stopped?
They have to be tough if they want to nip this behaviour in the bud, but they also need to keep the youngsters on side in case they need to deal with them in the future.
There's all sorts to do, man.
Like what?
There's all sorts of lovely park.
Oh, I'm 16, I'm not.
It doesn't mean you go clotting on in vacant buildings, though, does it? Because that's against the law. So just don't do it anymore. Just understand that, all right? There is other things to do. Okay, young man?
You didn't go over the wall and out like that towards the dining halls and out like that? No? No? What about the other lads?
Well, he's pulling at the the boarding about like that?
No.
Open any gates?
No.
We do appreciate that, you know, if there's not much for you to do, all being your sort of age, you know what I mean, it is difficult, but you've got to just find something a bit more constructive.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
It's like everything, it's just curiosity and everything else. It's not as if they've gone in there intending to break into the school, pull the shutters off, nothing like that. They certainly don't come across to me like that. Something everyone probably used to do at some point, isn't it really? Have a bit wander around, a bit explore.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, they did need speaking to, and it's nice when they're trying to run off, if you can't catch them, it's just good to get the details and we can log it. And then if it happens again and they start coming to our attention more and more, then we can speak to the parents, speak to the schools, that sort of thing.
Neighbourhood policing isn't just about catching people breaking the law. It's also about understanding why people break it in the first place. And Mick knows keeping on the straight and narrow can sometimes be tough.
For me, I was born and raised in a similar area as Sunderland. I'm from Jarrow in South Tyneside, and it's very similar on the banks of the Tyne. We had a big shipbuilding industry as well, and that's got taken away from us, and there's not a lot left there for people now. So I think that helps me in my role. I know the sort of life people lead. I've lived it myself, and I think that helps me to empathise, and I think it helps me do my job better, that I know the sort of people that I'm dealing with.
With their close links to the public, Northumbria Police rely on the neighbourhood teams to find wanted criminals. Tonight, Mick and Dave are back at the Nick and on the hunt for a young man whose alleged theft offences have landed him in court. But worse still, he didn't turn up.
When we look at the offences are nearly a year old. They're all offences dated in 2016.
Arresting people who haven't turned up for court is a massive part of Mick and Dave's job. Their time spent building relationships and gathering intelligence means they often know where to find the usual court dodgers, and they've heard every reason and excuse going.
Could be lots of reasons, could be legitimate reasons. For instance, they're in hospital.
Already in prison?
Yes, yeah, already in prison. So they can't attend. But different people, if we're all the same, life would be boring, wouldn't it? We can't all judge people by our own values. That's one thing I've certainly learned over the years. Take each person individually as they come.
Last year, Northumbria Police arrested almost 2,000 people for failure to appear in court. Dave and Mick know someone who's missed their day in court is likely to have broken the law again since. This is the first time they've heard of tonight's suspect, who was in court for 3 counts of theft. With the original offences dating back to last year, they've no idea if he still lives at this address.
No. No reply at the door. But yeah, that's as much as we can do for now.
The man could be keeping a low profile to avoid going to court for the theft offences, so they check for any sign of activity from outside.
If anything, I would say it's that one.
So when we come back, we'll be able to ascertain if any lights on or anything that may give us an idea if there's been any change or any life inside.
As they're about to leave, they spot someone, a man walking his dog who fits the description.
It's him.
It's him. The lad that was standing there, we haven't got a picture, so I've just done a quick look on my phablet. He looks very similar to this lad.
Right.
Just that's what your name is, mate?
Ed.
Hello, mate. Can I have a quick chat?
Yeah, why?
You're showing us being wanted, mate.
What for?
Failing to appear at court, you must have missed a court date. Is the dog going over all right?
You got a lead for it? Mum there, can I just get my mum to pick the dog up, or?
Can you give her a ring, or?
Do you want me to hold the dog? Hang on, because the dog, you're not got a lead.
Aye, mum, will you come up and get the dog, because the police is here? I don't know, something about I feel to show up at court or something.
You're under arrest for failing to appear at court. There's 3 outstanding theft offences that we need to be spoken about, okay? So you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned. Something we say it right in court, anything you do to me, we're giving evidence, alright?
Right. I didn't think I've done anything wrong, so...
These are old offences, mate, from March, April and May last year.
Can I wait until my mum comes to get the dog?
Oh, aye, wait. Just sit yourself in there for now.
The man's mum has arrived to take the dog.
4 driving offences.
He claims to know nothing about the thefts, although he'd already been at court recently and thinks there could be a mix-up.
I was at court the other week for a driving offence, but that was no insurance and it all got sorted there and then.
As it stands, mate, it's black and white, and that's what we work off. In the meantime, while we're travelling, is there anything on you that you shouldn't have?
I've got some grain in my pot.
We'll take that off you.
So I'll not get that back.
Oh God, that's strong. That.
Anything else?
No. Do you want to search as well? I jump out.
You're gonna have to now because you've got your things on it. Do you want to put your?
Not doing yourself any favours with that.
It's just I smoke weed. You know what I mean? We're gonna lie to you, mate.
I'll just arrest you for possession of that as well, okay?
The man is calm and cooperative.
Right.
Mick and Dave want to keep him that way and are happy to play good cops until they get him into custody.
Honestly, mate, I was going to literally have a joint and go to bed.
You're under arrest for that as well, alright, buddy?
Right.
Anything else? Nothing? Machetes, knives?
Do you know what it is? I thought you were...
I've got a big massive...
Do you know what it is? I thought you were only joking when you said that, but you weren't like...
Well, green, I'm not going to lie to you lads, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've got no understand.
Can you unzip your coat so I can look inside?
The man insists he's a law-abiding citizen who stays out of trouble.
I'm a good lad, I'm a manager, man, at a call centre, man. I've got my own team, man, do you know what I mean? I'm a proper good citizen.
A leader
I've been in the army and that since then, man. Do you know what I mean? Serving my country. That's best I can.
Do your bit. Do your bit.
I'm under arrest for possession of cannabis and then...
Well, you're going in for the warrant anyway, so we can't deal with this at the roadside if you're going into custody anyway, so it'll all be dealt with in custody, but you can still get like cannabis warnings and that sort of thing at custody.
Will I get it back?
No. What do you think?
What you've taken us
The
in now
man
is...
insists it's all a mix-up. Dave and Mick have heard it all before.
If there's a mistake being made, it's not by us.
But we've got to act on the information we have. As far as we're concerned, there isn't a problem. There's that he is shown as wanted by the court, failed to attend.
I think we've got somebody in the control room making us a few inquiries, see if you can get to the bottom of any sort of errors, but until we hear otherwise, then the chap's under arrest and he's going to South Shields Police Station. Right, we'll get you booked in, mate. Same set of questions everybody gets.
Back at custody, the man is booked in while Dave looks up why he's wanted at court to double-check there hasn't been a mix-up.
Very, very few and far between. In the 16 years that I've served, I've only ever had a couple where it has been someone else's fault or it's been on the wrong person with the same details sort of thing.
It turns out he was due in court for failure to pay for fuel at a supermarket petrol station. Not just once, but 3 times. Finally, the penny drops.
I can't believe that.
Combined with possession of a Class B drug, things aren't looking good for the 26-year-old.
I've just gotten a manager's job. I felt really good about myself until these turned up.
I've heard it all before, people saying that it's not me, it's wrong, it's this type, I've done this, that, the other, and it took us 5 minutes on the computer to find out that it's actually him that's in the wrong and it's not us, which is what we said at the start.
There you go, mate. Follow. Thanks, mate.
So you'll be kept here at Shields overnight and then you'll go before the court first thing in the morning.
Dave and Mick hope this is the last they'll hear of the man. But it just goes to show what goes around comes around.
These things happen, mate. If you keep doing that sort of thing, you're going to get inconvenienced. And obviously he's got a job now. We would never want him to lose his job or get in trouble like that. But it just goes to show some things can build up.
The man was given a verbal warning for his possession of cannabis. At court, he pleaded guilty for the petrol thefts. He was ordered to pay £108 in compensation to the supermarket, plus £85 in court costs. Still to come, trouble in the city centre, with the cops determined to keep their high street safe.
Stay put, because I've had problems with you enough.
Central Sunderland is typical of shopping centres across the UK. Local businesses rely on the neighbourhood teams to keep the area safe for the public to spend their time and money. But all is not well on the high street. Antisocial behaviour and crimes committed through drug and alcohol abuse don't go down well with shoppers.
But you feel a bit sorry for them, but then like it can be scary as well if you're younger and they're like older men and stuff and you don't know what they're gonna do.
Obviously when I'm walking down the street, I don't really kind of appreciate somebody asking me for money, especially if they're gonna use it for drugs.
I seen a drug addict on the street coming towards me, and I knew if I could tell that they were on drugs, I would be intimidated.
I think that realistically we should be looking at providing support for people rather than providing police sort of punishment and enforcement. What we should be looking at is rehab centres.
PC Jill Calvert is on a mission to keep the city centre free from the crimes that upset and annoy the public.
I started in Sunderland on the shift, and then after 2 years I joined the retail crime unit, and since then it's become the neighbourhood policing team. But we still have the retailers to deal with during the day, and then we have the pubs and clubs on the night time, and all the people that come to the pubs and clubs on the night time need to be looked after.
Jill knows there are plenty of regulars who can't wait until night time to drink themselves silly, and she's just received a call about a man who's been arrested over 500 times.
One of our local drunks, apparently he's been lying in the middle of the road, refusing to move, causing them some aggravation, so we're heading down. He's got over 500 arrests for a lot of offences, but most of them are alcohol related. He's very difficult to understand as well. It's hard to talk to him because he slurs so much with the alcohol. And yeah, he would be frightening to, you know, young people or vulnerable people in and around the town. So we'll just see exactly what state he is, and then we'll deal with him.
The man has since moved from the shopping centre to the Metro, Sunderland's light rail network.
Have you seen? He's downstairs. Right, thank you. Stevie, platform 2. Oh, there we are.
I've got no idea. He was.
Have you got a ticket? Right, well, you're going to have to go and get a ticket before you get in the Metro, aren't you?
The man is subject to a public space protection order, a new act which can be used to ban people from certain areas. In his case, the local shopping centre.
You got papers served on you that said you can't go into bridges.
I'm British and I'm proud.
They don't want you in. So where are you going now then?
Thankfully, his drinking hasn't made him aggressive. Quite the opposite, in fact.
No, get off me. No way. Not a chance.
He's refusing to budge.
Come on then. Howie, are you doing? Well, give us your sit.
Jill decides to humour him to get him up to the ticket machine.
Oh, you need to practice them a bit more. It's more of a dip than a press up. Howie. All right. Crunches. Howie. Give us some crunches instead.
The good cop routine seems to be working.
You've made me day. Go up the escalator, you'll fall up the stairs.
That one over there.
Which one?
That one.
Watch where you're walking.
Is it an escalator?
No.
Well, no. Yeah, it's an escalator.
Are you getting on the Metro, or are you walking home?
Now he's decided he doesn't want to take the Metro home. Steve and Jill don't care how he gets there. They just want him out of the city centre.
Get out. Get yourself away home. Out the town. All right. So you're going that way then?
And you're going that way.
And I'll go that way.
I'm going that way, man.
Well, get yourself away. Get yourself away then. All right?
I'm not even allowed, man.
I know you're not.
What? No.
What? Don't. Have you got Tourette's? Refuse.
The last thing they want is for the man to upset people doing their shopping. and his language is becoming increasingly offensive.
We don't have to sign it. We don't have to sign it.
Jill decides to try a different tack.
How are we?
You take me,
How are we?
you take me Mary Street.
Where are you going?
Mary Street.
We'll take you up to Mary Street, right?
Right, take me to Mary Street.
We'll take you to Mary Street, get you out of the town, yeah?
They'll be
Have you got an
taking him
appointment
to
for
the
Mary Street,
council's
or can you
drug
just
and
go in?
alcohol centre.
You've got one. You can just walk in, can you? You don't need an appointment.
Steve and Jill have
Hey,
used a range
you've
of
got- remember
powers
like
and
a
local
goldfish?
services to stop the man from causing distress to
We'll
shoppers
get you up to Mary
and also
Street.
get him the help he clearly needs.
Right. Stay there. I'll get the other side.
For every £1 invested in specialist alcohol treatment, £5 is saved on health, welfare and crime costs.
Officer.
Howard, mind you don't trip over that step.
Right. Hey, I'm
Okay,
sure,
sweetie? I know you are.
Jill and Steve are hoping by getting this man into a treatment centre, they won't have to deal with him for a while at least.
He wants to come here. He wants some help. And these are the people that can talk to him and hopefully get him off the alcohol or put him onto some sort of programme. So we'll leave him there and see what happens. You saw the state that he was in. It wasn't fair to leave him in the town. It's not fair to members of the public. It's not fair to the people that work there. So safest place, get him out of the town, get him to somebody who can help him.
The man was later in court and pleaded guilty to a string of other offences, including drunk and disorderly and criminal damage. He was fined £250 and sent to prison for 8 weeks. One mile outside of Sunderland city centre, PC Dave Bew is heading out on solo patrol. Dave used to be a response officer and spent his shifts racing to 999 calls. Joining the Neighbourhood team meant adjusting to a different style of policing.
I couldn't get used to it when I first come on. It was because I was so used to the pace of 24/7. But that's what I'd done for 11 and a half years, so you just accept it as being the norm.
Patrolling the neighbourhood is one of the most important parts of Dave's job.
With the neighbourhood team, you get your face seen, walking around or whatever. You get to know people, and obviously once they break down them sort of barriers, people will tell you various things.
Now Dave has the time to get to know everyone on his patrol.
The main focus is the problem solving, so obviously rather than 24/7 response, which is basically what it is, it's a response to the radio, things happening there and now. They'll turn up, they'll deal with it the best they can, but if it's long-running issues, whether it's neighbourhood disputes, we would normally take over because obviously we've got more time and we've got the contacts as well.
Dave is constantly on the lookout for anything out of the ordinary, and today he spotted a couple of youngsters he doesn't recognise.
You all right?
I need to bunch you. Right, like, we'll kind of get it out from there.
You've caught it on the thing, haven't you?
Just riding along and it just, like, came off and tried to fix it, but it was just knotted.
You're a lucky day, mate, because I'm into my mountain bikes. All I'm going to do is, you've twisted your chain, so what I'll try and do is I'll try and take the chain off by just taking these off and pushing it over to get this out.
This is exactly the sort of problem response officers wouldn't have the time to deal with. But neighbourhood cops like Dave do things differently, all in the name of getting youngsters like this on side.
Do you ride to work, like?
Me, aye, most of the time, mate, aye. See, but you think cops are horrible, do you?
Through divvies.
What, who are?
The police.
Aye, how many fix your bike for you?
None.
Aye, exactly.
It's a good job Dave has come to the rescue, as these lads are on an important mission of their own.
Going to pick his mum's Mother's Day presents up.
I'm going to give you one of my links as well.
So
you'll have like 2 split links in your chain, one that's already in, and one that I'm going to put in.
I don't have a clue what to do with this, like.
I learned how to do it by like YouTube and stuff.
Did you?
Aye. And I'm an hard fart, so you'll be able to do it, no bother, man.
One thing's for sure, PC Bew has definitely made an impression.
You're like probably one of the best police I've ever seen like it.
Tell you what, would be the most expensive bike mechanic going, wouldn't there? Tell you what, we send you the bill, I think. Grand, do you want to have a try?
Right, cheers, thank you. In a bit.
What?
Thank you, mate.
Show you, Scan, are you?
Thank you, man.
See you later. Hopefully next time if they see us or whatever, they might go, oh, you're the cop that fixed me bike, do you know what I mean? So, you said cops are divvies before. Obviously I'm not, so there you go. There's one to us, isn't it? Divvies nil, cops one.
Back in Sunderland city centre, Steve and Jill's mission to protect local businesses from drunks and drug addicts continues. A call has come through about a couple of yobs being verbally abusive outside a takeaway. They're on scene in minutes, and the suspects make a dash for it.
Pardon?
While Steve stops to speak to a witness, Jill chases the two men in the van.
Well, I'm not giving out.
Why were you obstructing us getting out of the van?
I haven't overgiven it.
I'm not.
Stand there.
What are you playing at?
Searching.
I'm searching you because I've got complaints coming in from members of the public about the way you're behaving. You and your pal there.
I've come from 2 seconds ago.
What's your full name again?
I'm not telling you.
No, stay put, because I've had problems with you enough.
Who's talking to you?
The man is drunk and rowdy, so Jill puts him in cuffs.
Okay, John.
While one of the men is led to the van, Steve arrests his friend for racially abusing a shop owner.
No,
In racial section 5,
racial,
you just called him a black.
No,
Yes, you have.
Racial.
Pack it in.
I haven't done that.
Lock it. Don't say anything. Do let me report it. Do see it.
I need you never. I've not report out to me. I haven't done it.
He's not going quietly.
I've not done anything. I said black. See?
Now sit down.
For a second, Jill.
Steve speaks to the shop owner, who doesn't want to press charges, but does want the antisocial behaviour outside his business to stop.
There's a crime being committed.
And too many problems is that kind of kids, like drunk people. Too many drunk people in this area.
Yeah.
This is main issue.
I've seen enough there to, you know, the offence is being committed, which cannot be tolerated. Cannot be tolerated, yeah.
The shop owner is fed up with this type of antisocial behaviour.
Like very bad for our business.
Thank you very much, yeah. Catch you later.
Jill knows antisocial behaviour like this is bad for the city centre and Sunderland as a whole. So having to get tough from time to time is all part of the job.
How are you, man?
Just go in there.
Oh, behave. That's exactly what we expected, in all honesty. They're their usual charming self.
Yep.
These two at least are off the streets and away from the public.
Didn't they?
We're just abusive from start to finish. So hence the reason they're now with us and not causing any more issues on Norfolk Street.
PCSO Richie Hansen is living proof that clubs and youth schemes that invest in young people are invaluable to our neighbourhoods.
We're going to head over to the Empire School of Boxing. It's a great little club. It's run by a couple, Les and Margaret Walsh. It's not just a boxing club, it's a club where kids can go get themselves off the street corners, give them something to do, where it's just keep them fit. It's good just to pop in every now and then, see how they're doing and speak with some of the kids as well.
The club he is calling on today is where local lad Richie trained as a young boxer before he became a record-breaking bodybuilder and police community support officer. and he was trained by owner Les Welsh.
Good lad, keep your hand. Hello, Rick.
Les, you all right? How
you
you doing?
I'm good, good. Yeah.
Les believes that the discipline and self-belief taught at a boxing club is exactly what youngsters need to stay out of trouble.
You're welcome to the club anytime you want. Just come along, you know, do what these people do. Come along and work hard and try and be somebody.
As funding for youth services becomes less and less, clubs like this are more valuable than ever.
Yep.
But Les knows opportunity is as much about what you put in as what you take away.
Any fool can get into trouble. You know, any fool can hang around at the marketplace of Blythe. Any fool can do that. But it takes a really strong person to do what these people are doing. Good shot. Good shot.
The young people in the ring have been training with Les for a few years.
And Savannah was boxing at the home show.
Yeah, she boxed at the home show. Boxed a Scottish girl, very, very good girl as well. Had a world champion in that corner.
Yeah?
Yeah, she won.
She won. Good.
15-year-old Savannah Stubley, nicknamed the Mighty Atom, has already won a Three Nations Championship gold medal.
I think she'd be one of the best boxers that this country's ever produced.
I can't argue with that.
Nice. Keep that backhand up when you throw on the left hook, please.
Being in the old gym is a chance for Richie to take a trip down memory lane. He was inspired to take up boxing by a local bobby who visited his school.
Yeah.
He sent his Z's a while back.
Yeah, it just shows you how long ago. Black and white.
Black and white. I think that was the local bobby at the time.
I mean, yeah, you boxed for us, right? And you've come along, and now you're a police officer, and now you're coming back to do exactly what that man's doing there.
That's it, eh?
Isn't that fantastic? When you were 10-year-old, did you think you were going to be a police officer?
Nah, probably not.
No. We're going to shadow box, just using the legs. 3, 2, 1, go. How we combat antisocial behaviour is that we give them somewhere to go. We give them something to do, we give them focus, we give them the discipline, we give them everything that's required so that they can travel safely through life and enjoy themselves. Yeah, good lad, Cam. It's not very often you get a world champion in your midst. And Richie is a world champion at one-arm press-ups. If the kids listen to him, they can't go wrong. Because he was exactly where they were and where they are. Fantastic, Billy. Fantastic. Do it again.
With role models like Richie and trainers like Les, these kids have got the right stuff.
If it wasn't from Les, I wouldn't have been here and I wouldn't have done what I have, boxed for England or anything.
Do something I enjoy instead of hanging around on the street just causing trouble and getting in with the wrong crowd, really.
And these youngsters will think twice before they use their training on the street.
What happens if you hit somebody outside? Because if you went on the street and hit anybody like that, they will be in serious trouble. And I've actually dismissed from our club in the past national champions, and I've loved them to bits. But if they haven't got the discipline to keep what we're teaching here to themselves, then you've got an appointment with that man.
And that man was once a world record breaker.
Richie is in the Guinness Book of Records. More than anyone ever thought possible, one-arm press-ups. So we're going to put him on the spot. We'll just ask him to do just a few.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well done. Well done. He was in the boxing club when he was your age. Do you think he knew at your age that he wanted to be a world champion in the Guinness Book of Records doing press-ups? That's what you do when you set your mind to anything. That demonstration of press-ups was very good. Okay?
I'll have to walk tomorrow.
The neighbourhood team's fight to keep the streets free of antisocial behaviour is ongoing. But these kids at least are ones Richie and his colleagues don't need to worry about and just might be the stars of the future.
I want to make something of myself. I want to go to the Olympics.
Today we've seen how neighbourhood police have to get tough to put our safety first. And it's thanks to these officers that we can carry on with our lives without looking over our shoulder. See you soon.